The time is precisely 6:15 p.m. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. News edited by Romesh Piris and read by Chandima Veerakon. Headlines. The travel bubble gets President's approval. Clinical waste discarded irresponsibly can be severely harmful to the environment. The third highest daily coronavirus case load reported in the country, raising the number of confirmed infections. New election commission to take office from tomorrow. Directives issued to open Palyagoda fish market. The court sanctions post-mortem exams on 11 Mahara inmates. Sri Lanka Navy celebrates 70th anniversary today. Special programs planned in connection with the 95th anniversary of the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. On international news, Indian Prime Minister says India will launch world's biggest COVID-19 vaccination drive with help of mobile technology. In sports news, LPL 2020, Jaffna Stallions vs Candy Tuskers. Local stories in detail. The proposed travel bubble reopen Sri Lanka for foreign tourists has received the green light from President Gotabaya Rajapaksa. The Tourism Ministry said that Cabinet was briefed on the proposal to open Sri Lanka for foreign tourists under a travel bubble. The Tourism Ministry said Tourism Minister Prasanna Ranatunga had briefed the Cabinet yesterday on the discussions held so far on resuming tourism in Sri Lanka. Minister Ranatunga said that the discussions have been successful and a date will be decided soon to open Sri Lanka's borders for foreign tourists. 797 coronavirus cases have been identified today, the third highest daily caseload in the country, raising the number of confirmed infections to 29,377. The Department of Government Information said among the new cases, 567 were linked to the Palyagoda Fish Market COVID-19 cluster. 230 cases linked to the prison cluster were also confirmed today. Accordingly, 7,977 persons are currently receiving treatment for coronavirus at a number of facilities across the country. The number of COVID-19 recoveries in Sri Lanka is at 21,258. 142 persons have also died in Sri Lanka with COVID-19. The newly appointed members of the Elections Commission of Sri Lanka are due to assume duties tomorrow. Its new members, including the chairperson, have been appointed by President Gotabaya Rajapaksa, as per the Articles 41A and 103(1) of the Constitution. Accordingly, Nimal G. Punchiheva has been named the new chairman of the Elections Commission. In addition, M.M. Mohammed, S.B. Divaratna, K.P.P. Pathirana and Jeevan Tyagaraja have been named its members. The head of the COVID-19 Presidential Task Force, Basil Rajapaksa, has advised officials to reopen the Palyagoda fish market promptly while adhering to health guidelines issued by authorities. Rajapaksa also instructed retired public health inspectors to be recruited if the number of PHI officers within the Palyagoda Urban Council area are insufficient to ensure health guidelines are being maintained. Basil Rajapaksa also inquired into the concerns that have arisen over the allocation of stalls within the new Manning Market complex in Palyagoda. Officials informed that stalls have been allocated in the new Manning Market complex for vendors who had stalls in the Petta Manning Market. A court order has been issued to conduct post-mortem examinations on the bodies of the 11 inmates who died during the Mahara prison unrest. Vattala Magistrate Buddhika Sri Ragala instructed the 5-member special committee appointed over the matter to conduct the post-mortem examinations at the National Institute of Infectious Diseases. The magistrate instructed the expert committee to submit the post-mortem examinations reports in courts. Magistrate Sri Ragala also ordered that the bodies should not be cremated or buried until the postmortems are conducted and reports are presented in courts. Attorney General Dappula de Oliveira yesterday recommended the appointment of a panel of experts comprising 3 senior judicial medical officers and a ballistic expert from the Government Analyst Department to conduct the post-mortems. This news comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Continuing with the local stories, the Sri Lanka Navy, the country's first line of defence, celebrates its 70th anniversary today. As part of the anniversary celebrations, a wide range of events are being held in every naval command, giving prominence to time-honoured naval traditions and religious events under the directives and guidance of Commander of the Navy, Vice Admiral Nishantha Ulugethanna. On the sidelines of these celebrations, capital ships of the Sri Lanka Navy will be brought to the anchorage of the Galle Green from today to 13th of December with a view to reach the general public with better awareness of the Navy. The central theme of this exhibition is Know Your Navy, and this is Your Navy. Several special programs have been planned to be conducted in connection with the 95th anniversary of the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The official ceremony will be held on the 16th of this month. Among the programs are the launching of Radio Magazine, a pen drive representing various eras, a new radio theme, and issuing of a commemorative stamp. A Pirit chanting and almsgiving invoking blessings on the country and the people will be held on the day. Religious programs will be held at all places of worship. An island-wide essay competition for children will be conducted to mark the occasion. Arrangements have been made to hold a musical show with the participation of popular artists on the 16th of this month. The programs are conducted under the guidance of the chairman of the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation, Jagat Wickramasinghe, and the Director General, Chandrapala Liyanage. The Gampaha High Court today rejected the bail applications filed by former Director of Criminal Investigations Department, SSP Shani Abesekara, and Sub-Police Inspector, formerly attached to the Ambalipitiya Police Station, Rohana Mendes. The order was issued by Judge Nimal Ranavira. The duo was arrested and remanded on charges of providing false evidence in an investigation conducted into former Deputy Inspector General of Police, Vas Gunawardena, who was sentenced to death. To end the local news, the headlines again. The travel bubble gets President's approval. Clinical waste discarded irresponsibly can be severely harmful to the environment. The third highest daily coronavirus caseload reported in the country, raising the number of confirmed infections. New election commission to take office from tomorrow. Directives issued to open Paliagoda fish market. The court sanctions post-mortem exams on 11 Mahara inmates. Sri Lanka Navy celebrates 70th anniversary today. Special programs planned in connection with the 95th anniversary of the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. That ends local news.
A mother knows the pain of each member of the family. Siddhalepa, the trusted relief for aches and pains.
An effective therapy for relief from cold, sneezing, flu, headaches, swelling due to toothaches, rheumatic, discomforts, and muscular aches and pains. Siddhalepa, the Veda Mahatmya in every home.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Veda Mahatmya.
On the main news story, it has been found that clinical waste such as masks and gloves discarded irresponsibly can be severely harmful to the environment. The Minister of Environment, Mahinda Amaraveera, stated this at a press conference and added that due to the carelessness in disposing of clinical contaminants, it is highly possible for the COVID-19 virus to re-enter the environment. Earlier, the Minister instructed the Central Environmental Authority to prepare a program for the proper disposal of such waste. Joining the press conference, the Secretary to the Ministry of Environment, Dr. Anil Jasinger, stated that the public should adhere to the guidelines issued by the CEA. He added that the health authorities should monitor the process of the disposal by the general public in a manner it does not harm the environment or public health. That ends the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya. Brush your teeth twice a day for healthy teeth and gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, your trusted brands in oral care for many years.
Supiriviki Ayurvedic toothpaste for adults. Kakulu Ayurvedic toothpaste for kids. 9 Ayurvedic ingredients of Supiriviki will protect your teeth and strengthen your gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, products from Siddhalepa.
Moving on to Watchlight, the Kandy Municipal Commissioner Amila Navaratna says travel restrictions have been imposed in Mahayava following the detection of 28 COVID-19 infected individuals from the area. Speaking during a media briefing, Navaratna said the measures were taken as part of the program to mitigate the COVID-19 pandemic. He added the aim of the move is to prevent infected individuals from entering the city. Moving on to world news, the headlines. Indian Prime Minister says India will launch world's biggest COVID-19 vaccination drive with help of mobile technology. Australia accuses China of undermining trade agreement. Mount Everest grows nearly a meter to new height. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi has stressed on the need to work together to ensure timely rollout of next-generation 5G technology to leapfrog into the future and empower millions of people in the country. Mr. Modi was delivering the inaugural address at the virtual India Mobile Congress yesterday. Addressing the event, the Prime Minister gave a call to work together to make India a global hub for telecom equipment, design, development and manufacturing. The Prime Minister stated that with the help of mobile technology, poor and vulnerable sections of the society have been provided help during the COVID-19 pandemic. The Prime Minister went on to say that India will launch the world's biggest COVID-19 vaccination drive with the help of mobile technology. Australia has accused China of undermining their free trade agreement over a series of actions by Beijing against Australian export goods. In his strongest comments yet, Trade Minister Simon Birmingham said China had targeted a dozen Australian goods amid tensions between the countries. China has imposed sanctions on hauls on Australian goods such as grain, wine and beef this year. This has caused alarm in Australia as China is its biggest trading partner. Beijing has accused Australia of unfriendly and hostile attitudes towards China amid the deteriorating political row. The Australian Prime Minister Scott Morrison demanded an apology from Beijing, which was rejected. Nepal and China have jointly announced that the world's highest mountain, Mount Everest, is 0.86 meters higher than had been previously officially calculated. Until now, the countries differed over whether to add the snow cap on top. The new height is 8,848.86 meters or 29,032 feet. Everest stands on the border between China and Nepal. The mountaineers climb it from both sides. Officials at Nepal's Foreign Ministry and Department of Surveys said surveyors from both countries had coordinated to agree on the new height. To end the world news, the headlines again. Indian Prime Minister says India will launch world's biggest COVID-19 vaccination drive with help of mobile technology. Australia accuses China of undermining trade agreement. Mount Everest grows nearly a meter to new height. That ends the world news. Moving on to development news. The State Information Office said Sri Lanka's state-run Ceylon Electricity Board will award contract to buy power from a 10-megawatt wind power plant to Capital City Holdings Private Limited. The Cabinet of Ministers had approved the purchase of power at 14.52 rupees a unit after competitive tenders were called. The power purchase agreement will run for 20 years. The plant will be connected to the Trincomalee grid power station. The wind farm is part of a plan to connect 60 megawatts of wind power to grid substations in Trincomalee, Mana, Bolavatta, Madampe and Kappalthura grid substations. That ends the development news. On to sports news. It's LPL 2020. Jaffna Stallions versus Candy Tuskers, 2 more matches of the 2020 Lanka Premier League, will be played at Hambantota today. In the first game, the 16th match of the tournament between Jaffna Stallions and Candy Tuskers got underway earlier. Stallions won the toss and elected to bat first. Shoaib Malik made 59 runs in 44 deliveries, which included 5 boundaries and a 6. Stallions made 150 runs all out in their allotted 20 overs. A short while ago, Candy Tuskers were 31 for 2 wickets after 4 overs. The second match will be played at 8 p.m. local time between Dambulla Vikings and Gaul Gladiators. Jaffna, Dambulla and Colombo have all booked their place in the playoffs, with Gaul and Candy Tuskers are batting out to secure the remaining place. 2020 LPL semi-finals will be played on Sunday and Monday, while the final will be played on the 16th of December at Suryavava in Hambantota. That ends sports news. Up next is business news. The current Director General, Sanjay Mohottala, has assumed duties as the Chairman of Board of Investment of Sri Lanka. His promotion comes in the wake of the resignation of Susantha Ratnayaka as the BOI Chairman last week. Until a new Director General is appointed, Mohottala will also function as the Acting Director General of BOI. BOI directly falls under the purview of President Gotabaya Rajapaksa. That ends the business news.
Economic news, courtesy of...
Hello, Puta. Did you land already?
We're in transit and our flight got delayed.
How is Shani? Poor thing with her pregnancy.
Calm down, everything is sorted. Why, I have my LOLC World Card with me. We are at the VIP lounge.
LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
And on economic news, the Indian Ocean Islands Tourism Promotion Agency says that Sri Lanka has developed a protocol for a possible reopening of the country's airport, which a committee is reviewing. Sri Lanka's tourism authorities have been training hotels on safety protocols during the closure. The agency said the committee review process will delay any airport opening. Sri Lanka Tourism Chief Kimali Fernando said that we are facing a global health pandemic and we are guided by the health officials, and diluting the health protocols would compromise the safety of international travellers and citizens when the airport reopens. That ends economic news.
Congratulations on your promotion. Heard you gave a treat for everyone in your department yesterday.
Yeah.
When will be our treat, huh?
Well, how about today?
Oh no, I was just joking. We'll have a party with your new salary.
It's fine. I have my LOLC credit card with me. Let's go out today.
Those who spread goodness radiate happiness to everyone around them. Introducing LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
And finally, on the weather report, the Meteorological Department says several spells of showers will occur in the northern, eastern and Uva provinces and in Anuradhapura and Hambantota districts. Showers or thunder showers will occur at several places in the Sabaragamuwa, central and western provinces and in Gaul and Mathura districts in the evening or at night. Heavy rainfalls, about 100 millimeters, are likely at some places. That ends the weather report. And to conclude this bulletin of news, the headlines once again. The travel bubble gets President's approval. Clinical waste discarded irresponsibly can be severely harmful to the environment. The third highest daily coronavirus caseload reported in the country, raising the number of confirmed infections. New election commission to take office from tomorrow. Directives issued to open Paliagoda fish market. The court sanctions post-mortem exams on 11 Mahara inmates. Sri Lanka Navy celebrates 70th anniversary today. Special programs planned in connection with the 95th anniversary of the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. On international news, Indian Prime Minister says India will launch world's biggest COVID-19 vaccination drive with help of mobile technology. In sports news, LPL 2020 Jaffna Stallions versus Candy Tuskers. With that, we conclude this bulletin of news from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Over to my friend and colleague.